Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jessica. I make motherhood, lifestyle, home decor, organization type videos. So if you enjoy videos like that, make sure you hit that red subscribe button and the notification bell so you are notified every time I upload a video. I do my pregnancy updates every single Monday. At least I have been so far. Haven't missed a week yet, but this is my 14th week pregnancy update. So this has been my first full week in my second trimester and I feel so good. Just back to my normal self. My energy is back for the most part. I'm no longer nauseous for the most part. I say for the most part because there are some times still where if I'm not eating regularly, not quite as intense as the first trimester, but if I just go way too long in between meals, like for example, my husband and I ate at lunch at like 11:30 yesterday and then it was like 4:30 and I hadn't eaten a thing and I started to feel really nauseous. But generally I eat a lot more frequently than that, so I haven't had any issues with nausea for the most part. And I did have a couple days where I just kind of had to take it easy after we went out and did stuff, but that also could have had a lot to do with the heat because it is so hot here in South Florida, you guys. You have no idea. Miles and I were out running errands and I had taken a shower this morning after the gym and I had to come and take another one because you can't do anything without being covered in sweat just from going to like the store, to the car. It's crazy. And when we were visiting our new house the other day, I got so dizzy because there's no AC or anything yet. We had the doors open, but that just wasn't cutting it. I felt so dizzy and lightheaded that we had to leave. I had to sit down in the car, blow the AC on my face, and finally, after drinking some cold water, I was fine. The heat has been brutal, and I feel like that's been affecting me a little bit more just because I'm pregnant, but aside from that, I have been feeling so good and just back to myself. We have been trying to just get so much stuff ready for when we move in 2 weeks. I just would not have had the energy a couple weeks ago when I was in my first trimester to get all of this stuff done that needs to be done. So the timing has really been amazing. So at 14 weeks, baby is the size of a brownie. This thing looks absolutely delicious. I made sure to get the ones with walnuts because those are my favorite kinds of brownies, and this one has frosting on it. I did not make these, I bought them, but look how good this is. I'm definitely going to be having this after my update. So at 14 weeks, baby is 3.39 inches and 1.50 ounces. Anything with chocolate is like irresistible to me right now. Ice cream is irresistible to me. I probably have chocolate in my teeth. All right, moving along. So I'm just gonna go over quickly what baby's doing at 14 weeks. It says baby is probably thumb sucking and wiggling his or her toes. Baby's kidneys are making urine and the liver and spleen are doing their jobs as well. And baby is growing a thin peach fuzz-like hair all over to keep the body warm. At week 14, your baby has almost doubled in weight since last week and keeps on growing. Maybe that's why I've been so tired. My body at 14 weeks, it says you're probably feeling some aches and pains as your muscles and ligaments stretch to accommodate your growing baby. Hungry. Once the queasiness of the first trimester subsides, you might find your appetite on overdrive and you might notice your hair getting thicker and shinier, one of the few attractive side effects of pregnancy. I have definitely been noticing the aches and pains they were talking about in my body. If I get up too fast or if I stretch a certain way, I can feel a little slight pain, nothing crazy, just kind of like a little stretch or a little ping in my uterus lower abdomen area. So I've been getting a lot of that. Also, what's been really exciting this week is I have felt distinctive baby movements, and the movement felt almost like a rolling sensation, and then there would be like a quick little jab or two, and it was just so distinctive, and I knew right away that it was definitely baby. It wasn't just like my food digesting or gas or anything like that, because it's just such a distinctive feeling when you start feeling them move. And I also notice when I feel movement the most is when I'm wearing pants or something around my like lower abdomen area that has an elastic, and I'm either sitting or kind of in bed, like in an upright more position. I notice that that pressure is just enough to allow me to feel like those little movements that I was talking about. Whereas if I'm just wearing a dress or something and I'm standing up and there's really no pressure there, I find that I don't feel those movements. But honestly, one of my favorite parts of pregnancy is just feeling those little movements. They do get way more intense towards the end, but right now it's just a really cool sensation, and it just gives me peace of mind that baby's okay in there and everything is good. I do have a doctor's appointment in, I think it's about a week and a half. There's no ultrasound this time. I don't believe I go back in for an ultrasound until I'm at 20 weeks. One of the weird things that I felt happening this week is I am starting to definitely feel Braxton Hicks contractions, and I mentioned a couple weeks ago that I had been feeling them a little bit also, but lately they've just been way more noticeable. I'm not sure if it's normal to be experiencing them this early on, but it is a distinctive tightening of my abdomen area, like a slow tightening, and then there's like a tightening and then a release. Obviously it's not like intense labor pains, but it's definitely something I just noticed that it's there. So I just want to make sure with my doctor that that's normal, that I'm feeling those this early on. Things like that just really freak me out because of my history with a miscarriage, and I just want to make sure that my body isn't showing any signs or red flags that I might be going into preterm labor or something scary like that. I'm sure that's not the case, but I just want to make sure I'm on top of stuff and keeping my doctor informed of everything that's been going on. Another really weird thing that I noticed this week when I was laying in bed, not laying flat down, but kind of laying like this, like propped up with my pillow, and I felt kind of like that rolling sensation. So I lifted up my shirt to see if I could see anything, and I couldn't see, you know, like as you get further along you can definitely like see movement going on in there. I think baby is way too small for that yet, so I didn't see any movement like that, but I did notice that my belly button was doing almost like this little wave thing. I have no idea if that's baby related, but I can tell you my belly button does not like move on its own when I'm not pregnant. And it wasn't even necessarily happening at the same time that I was feeling that movement. So I don't really know what that is. I'm assuming it's pregnancy related. I don't know if like the baby is hitting up against it, but I'm definitely gonna ask my doctor and see like if I'm just going crazy or if that's a normal thing. If you guys have noticed your belly button doing any like movements or anything like that, let me know in the comments. I tried to get it on video, but it stopped like as soon as I got my camera out. So of course I'm like, okay, everyone's gonna think I'm crazy if I don't actually have video of this. So I need to lay there for a little bit and see if I can catch it again on camera so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. And the best way I can describe it is it just looked like my belly button was doing the wave. It was so weird. So I mentioned in a previous video as well that I need to decide if I want to do a VBAC for this delivery or choose to do a repeat C-section, because I did have to have an emergency C-section with my son. And I've been doing a ton of research ever since I talked to my doctor, and she was super supportive of me wanting to do a VBAC, which honestly surprised me because I've heard a lot of stories where doctors' offices and hospitals are just more comfortable doing a repeat C-section than doing a VBAC just because of the risks. So I've really just been trying to educate myself the best I can, and I've been reading a lot and also watching a lot of YouTube videos about it. During my research, I stumbled upon a YouTube channel. Her name is Sarah Levon. I'll leave it linked down below. She was a labor and delivery nurse and is now a doula, and what a doula is basically like a birth coach. You would hire her and she comes with you throughout the whole labor process, and especially if you want to try to do it drug-free, epidural-free, natural, I think a doula would really come in handy because it's just someone there who can kind of coach you through it and just make you feel like everything that you're going through is normal and everything's okay. But anyway, so I found her channel because she had a 2-part video series about VBACs and the risks and all that stuff, what the procedure is, and they were super informative, and I just loved her personality so much. So I started watching all of her other videos, and I learned so much this past week, probably more than I even learned my entire first pregnancy just from watching her videos. I have been binging them like crazy, and her videos range from like pregnancy tips, going into labor, the different methods of delivery. So she just has the best videos, so informative. If anyone wants to check those out, like I said, I'll leave her channel link down below because she is great. And like I said, I've learned so much just by watching her videos. I feel way more prepared this time. One of my favorite videos I saw from her was tips of how to go into labor on your own. And I have watched a lot of videos like that because especially with my son towards the end of my pregnancy, once I was full term, I really wanted to go into labor on my own. I did not want to get induced. So I watched a ton of videos, and it was mostly just people talking about old wives' tales that I didn't even know if were true. But her video is actually backed up by science and experience, and I am definitely going to go back and try all of her tips when I get to that point in my pregnancy, because like I said, I just prefer to go into labor on my own. I actually enjoyed it for my last pregnancy, and I think I'll feel sad if I miss out on that for this pregnancy. So anyway, enough about that. I just wanted to share her with you guys because I know a lot of pregnant mamas watch my channel, and I really think you guys will find her, first of all, she's hilarious, and second of all, her videos are very informative. So that is pretty much it as far as my pregnancy update. Since I have been feeling so good and like myself, I don't really have a ton of like symptoms or even like food aversions or anything to go over with you. Still hot coffee though. I cannot drink hot coffee. So quickly before I do the bump shot, I wanted to show you guys some of the clothes I picked up for baby girl, and I found some really good deals. So one of my friends, Erica Ann, she has a YouTube channel as well, and she is pregnant. She was telling me how much she loves going to like TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Home Goods for baby stuff. And I hadn't really looked there yet this pregnancy. I do remember finding some stuff for Miles, but it was just so long ago that, I don't know, you just kind of forget. So I stopped into Marshalls the other day, and I found this adorable sleep sack. It's by the brand Chickpea, and it's a muslin swaddle blanket. It's 3 to 6 months, and it has the little Velcro, and it was on clearance for $6. I just couldn't pass it up for that price. I do think it looks a little long, and I don't even know if I'll be swaddling the baby still at 6 months, but for $6, I figured it can't hurt to have this. I do plan on picking up a couple other Velcro swaddles in a smaller size because they are lifesavers, but I wanted to show you guys that. And then also I found this cute little top knot hat that was on clearance for $1. I mean, $1. It was originally $5.99 and then marked down to $4.50, and then finally $1 when I found it. And this is going to be perfect. I only have one other top knot hat for her at the moment, and she is going to be born when it's cooler here in Florida, so I definitely want to have some hats for her. The last thing I picked up from Marshalls is also from the brand Chickpea. I saw so many cute things from this brand, and they're super affordable. And this is a 3-piece set. It's 6 to 9 months. I was hoping to find one in like 0 to 3 or 3 to 6 months, but this was the only size that they had, or the smallest size that they had. And it's a 3-piece set that comes with this little bodysuit onesie, and then it comes with these pants that have little feet, and then the cute little matching headband bow. So I just love this, and I had to pick it up. I'm looking for zipper onesies, but I'm sure I have time. And my mom is having another baby shower for me, which I kind of feel weird about because it's not my first baby, but also it is my first little girl. So I'm trying not to go too crazy with shopping because I know I'll be getting a lot of stuff. I did buy one more thing, and this is from one of my favorite baby shops online. It's called Spearmint Love. And I just fell in love with this little bodysuit, and I'm probably going to have her wear this in the hospital or as her coming home outfit. I just love this pattern, and I don't know if you can really see, there's ruffles all the way down, and the cutest thing, look at this little ruffle butt. It's just so adorable. Has little feet, and if you could feel this fabric, you guys, it's like buttery, stretchy, soft. I just love it. And it's 0 to 3 months. I forgot how much it was. I used a coupon and it was free shipping, so I want to say I spent like $24, which is a little crazy, I know, for a little onesie that they'll wear once, but I just love this. Oh, and then to match this, I actually made this little bow for her. It matches pretty well. The blue is pretty close, about as close as I could get, but this is like a stretchy material. I just picked this up at Joann's and I found this bow hair tutorial and it was so easy to make, you guys. You don't have to know how to sew. You just need fabric and a hot glue gun. It is so easy. And then I just attached this little piece of nylon to it so it can be a headband. But how cute is this? If you guys want me to do a video tutorial on how I made this, let me know because I totally will, and I'll show you. I just picked up a couple other prints as well. This is the other one that I made that I thought was pretty cute. Again, I just attached them all to this piece of nylon. And then I thought this was really cute with like the woodland animals on there as well. But it's always fun to be able to make stuff if you can, especially even as a gift. If you know someone who's pregnant or has a girl, people just love personalized items and things that are homemade. So I was really excited to learn how to make those this week. Alright guys, that is it for my 14-week update. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel. We are moving into our new house in 2 weeks and I have so many projects for you guys. I just went to Home Depot with my husband and picked up all the supplies to make my DIY Rae Dunn display, which I am definitely going to need after I move into the house and get all of my Rae Dunn out of storage and all of the Rae Dunn that I have stacked against this wall that I've been collecting over the past couple months. So fingers crossed that it all fits and I don't know, I'm just gonna have way too much. So anyway, I just have so many different types of videos coming on my channel. If you guys have any suggestions or any videos that you would like to see, let me know in the comments down below. Thanks again for watching and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys. Here's the 14-week pregnancy bump. I feel like I'm carrying so much higher than I did with my son, but belly button's still like right on the cusp there of popping out. Yeah, definitely feeling pregnant, you guys.
Stay true to that fire in your heart and